So, how strong is carbon fibre? How careful do you really have to be? We're all really precious of our carbon fibre bikes. But I've got this fork here which came off a bike that was actually hit by a taxi. The rest of the bike was aluminium, and the top tube was kinked like this, and the down tube was kinked in the same way. But if you look at the steerer tube actually survived completely unscathed, and obviously this leg at some point has taken some kind of side force, and that's where the main brake was in this fork. But it gives us an opportunity to give this fork a bit of a strength test, a bit of a tap, and do things that you wouldn't normally dare do to a carbon bike, and see how strong it is. So I'm going to come and get you, and I've got a bit of a test chamber here for it, and we'll give it a whack and see how strong it really is. So, to start with, I thought just give it a thwack on the bench here. It's quite a hard surface. And this is the contact point here. And as you can see, it's just done nothing at all. Try a bit harder. Oh, it's totally counter-instinctive to smack a piece of carbon like that. But yeah, again, this is the area of impact, and it's holding up. So let's go up to a toffee hammer, give it a smack with a toffee hammer. And have a look what that's done. Again, there's nothing. Maybe if we stand on it and pull up. So I'm putting my weight on it, and I'm pulling up here on the steerer, and there's just nothing at all. No flex, no movement, no nothing. I'm not the heaviest person in the world, but I wouldn't have dreamt of doing that to my carbon road bike. So yeah, at the moment, no impact, no damage at all. Get it back round here so you can see. Right, there's that point there above the red graphic where we've been whacking it. We smashed it against the bench. We hit it with a toffee hammer. Let's go up to a metal hammer and give it a whack with that. Wow, that's really surprised me. So this is the area again that we're hitting, and there's just nothing. So yeah, stronger than you might think, really. I mean, you can see obviously this fork took a serious impact, and from the state of the metal frame that it was attached to, I'm just amazed that the steerer didn't just snap clean off, but the steerer is completely undamaged. So I've got a monster hammer here now. Excuse my fingers in the shot, I'm trying to do this with one hand. So this is a big hammer. I'm expecting this to damage it, to be fair. I'm impressed. So far I've been unable to damage it in any way at all. So let's turn it round, give it a whack from this side. Two big whacks there. This is not very scientific, I appreciate. And yeah, it's just holding out. It's just not damaged. Let's go back to whacking it against the table and see just how much grief we can give it. Right, so I've made a dent there in the worktop. See the dent? And the fork still remains. I'm actually wondering if I'm going to be able to break this. Right, ready? that's pretty impressive. So this is the strike zone where we've been whacking it, and there isn't anything. There's just no damage at all. Yeah, so far I would say carbon is a lot stronger than we give it credit for, but let's put it back on the floor and see what we can do to break this thing. So right, here's the big hammer. Get the big hammer underneath it, like so. I'm going to stand on it. I'm standing on it. I'm jumping up and down. Right, the thing's off the ground now. My entire weight is balancing it on the hammer, and again, no damage. As I say, the scratches were there from the accident, but the impact point of the hammer was about here on this edge, and there's just nothing. Right, let's go for it. And stand on it and smack it. Aha! At last. So, with all the strength I could muster, I have now made a hole. But if you're, if you've got your first carbon bike and you're worried about taking it out in the rain, or your mate's bike hitting against it when you park up at a cafe, I think this goes to show that there's plenty of strength in this is a Boardman, by the way, so it's not, arguably not the highest end frames. Not that I'm knocking them. But yeah, it's not. And as for a point of failure, I don't even think I'm going to get to a point of failure with what I've got here. But yeah, bit of reassurance for you there on the carbon front. If you're running a carbon fork, I've just stood on this, hit it with 3 different hammers, smacked it against the bench, made a dent in my workbench, and yeah, it took a hell of a lot to even do that amount of damage to this carbon fork. So yeah, don't stress too much about your carbon. It's stronger than you think.